We're just driving back to base now, and the road's been closed behind us, so if anything, conditions are getting worse up there. At least the sheep seem to be coping.
Bless the little Welsh sheep.
Yeah.
John Hammond's here from the BBC Weather Centre. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Chris.
Hello, and back on the sofa by popular demand, without Marie Osmond this time, our polar explorer and GP, Dr. Ian Davis.
Thank you very much.
I thought they were never going together. Right, John, first off, this snow, it's different snow, isn't it?
The wrong kind of snow, Chris, yeah. Something weird's been going on in the atmosphere, which actually my colleagues in the Met Office have been keeping an eye on for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's sort of an area of science which is developing all the while, but we detected something weird going on way up in the stratosphere, top of the atmosphere. Actually a warming. You think, well, why does a warming cause all this white stuff? Well, what that does is it tends to stop our normal westerly winds. And the westerly winds give us the mild, sort of average sort of weather. And it tends to allow the weather, the atmosphere to become blocked and allow colder easterly winds to come in off the continent. That's exactly what's happened. So the Met Office scientists were flagging this up a couple of weeks ago, and we knew that something was up and it was coming down the tracks, and lo and behold, it's arrived. And the UK now is at this battle zone really between the cold air, which is trying to come in off the continent, and the normal weather systems which are trying to come in off the Atlantic. So within that battle zone, we're getting cold and moisture, and that means snow.
But different snow, dry snow.
Dry snow, yeah. I mean, if you try and make a snowball out there, you might not do too well because it's the fluffy variety, and that's because the air is so cold. Normally in this country, the snow we get is very wet and tacky because the temperature's a little bit higher, but it's about -1, -2 out there.
Because all gripped, aren't we?
Hanging on
It's every word.
I can realise, is it westerlies are because of the Gulf's, the warming
Jet
of the
stream.
water, the jet stream?
Yeah. The jet stream is a sort of ribbon of air high up in the atmosphere, and that
So
circulates.
something happened to the jet streams to stop the west?
Yeah, the jet stream has been sort of halted in its path by this sudden stratospheric warming. And it's sort of worked its way all the way down through the atmosphere, and it's with us now. And how long it's going to last is another question.
So it also gives the lie to that thing about you can't have too cold for snow.
No.
It's not true.
Our friend here has been to the Arctic, he knows. It can't be too cold to go to snow.
Oh, it doesn't snow there, it's too cold.
Oh, shut up.
Everybody will be screaming at the telly now going, well, what's going to happen over the next few days then? John, look into your crystal ball.
Over to me. Right. Well, it is snowing lightly out here at the moment, but it is only light, and it'll probably get lighter through the rest of the evening and night. The main focus for snow tonight is across parts of Northern Ireland, eastern Scotland and northeast England. Not as much as we saw earlier on the day across Wales and the west of England, but a few centimetres. So we've got amber warnings in force from the Met Office here. The main player tonight, nationwide, is going to be ice. You can see the map is blue. It's blue for a good reason because temperatures are already sort of below freezing and they're not going to go up over the next few hours, they're going to go down. So a lot of ice around. And tomorrow, because temperatures really aren't going to rise much, there'll be more flurries, but just flurries really. So it's a day to sort of try and get back to normal, clear the drive, let the kids go out sledging, but no really destructive snowfall expected tomorrow, but another bitterly cold one. Temperatures close to freezing, so no signs of a thaw. Problems on Sunday. Something is lurking down over the continent. You can see it coming up from France, and that's another snowmaking device, I think, and it does threaten to bring some snow, this time to eastern parts of England. Today it was the west, it could well be the eastern areas copied on Sunday. It's 2 days away, it's some way off, but we are getting increasingly concerned that this could give some disruptive snow later on Sunday, so it's one to watch for sure.
Okay. We saw Declan Donnelly in Wales, where we've got red warnings issued today. Dan Donnelly, sorry. How excited as a weatherman do you get when there are red warnings in place?
Red letter day, for sure, because we've only had one red in the last year, and that was for rain in the summer, last summer. The last time we had a red warning for snow was way back in December 2010.
Oh, big day.
Yeah, we're all very excitable in the weather centre.
Right, Ian, how do we stay warm? Come on, some tips, please.
Eat fatty food.
Yeah?
It's my top tip, really. Yeah, if you eat fatty food, you're going to stay warm.
Right, we've been practicing that for years, haven't we? So we've got a store of that.
It's the only time you're ever going to hear a doctor say eat fatty food. But
Yeah.
you can eat lots of crisps and sweets.
Pork scratchings?
If you fancy pork
Yes,
scratchings,
Ian.
salami's much better.
Love it.
And you burn more calories, of course, in the cold weather, don't you?
You're burning much more calories, but fatty food burns for much longer. The Kendal mint cake that people like is a big spike of energy, and it's over quite quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas the fatty food burns for much longer. So before you go snowballing, big burger, sausages, whichever.
But nothing against Kendal mint cake,
Of course.
which is delicious.
As a GP, what sort of injuries do people come into the surgery with at times like that? Then, what's the most common things you see?
People falling over, for
Yeah.
instance. In the old days when you open the door in the morning to get your milk off the mat, you know, at 8:30 in the morning, Casualty would be full of people with broken arms and broken legs because people just don't take precautions. They slip over, etc., etc. You know, you've got to be careful in your car as well.
Can you tell us your fantastic tip, your sleeping bag tip, which I had no idea was the case?
If you're stuck in your car and you have a sleeping bag and you need to get into it, most people will put all their clothes on and get in the sleeping bag. Wrong. In Antarctica, when it's minus 45, I strip down to my thermal underwear before I get into my sleeping bag, because you need to make the sleeping bag warm so that it can keep you.
And it's you that warms the sleeping bag.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, who knew that? Did anybody know that here?
That.
Tommy works on the show, used to be in submarines. Did you know that? No.
No? How's the snow where you were, Ben? Are you badly
this
affected,
evening?
or?
Yeah, no, I was supposed to come here on a motorbike. That got cancelled. We went for the car. It was a little bit late because there was about that much snow on the roads. Very exciting. Yeah, we all got very, very excited.
You're off to Cambridge tomorrow.
Off to Cambridge. Well, I was just asking you earlier, you know, is that a girl supposed to go to Cambridge tomorrow evening? Is that advisable? Would have to travel back about midnight?
Nah, you'll be fine.
Really?
Just a few.
It's got like a big snow sign on the map.
You'll be all right.
Sensationalising those news channels, they've got to fill the airtime with something. Not us there, no.
No. Well,